Hey there, adventurers. I'm Norwolf. Welcome to my role-playing game realm and to episode 11 of my Powers Perils solo play. So I think today will be a bit of a shorter session. I just want to catch up on a bit of downtime activity. And then in the next session, our merry band of adventurers will see what other trouble they can get into. So, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, Gildor, Raffin, and Marizan had cleared out the small orc encampment. As they were searching the final room after they'd killed the leader, they had found that small unlocked chest, which had contained some loot. The thing I forgot to mention was that the chest also contained a couple of rolled up letters or dispatches. When they checked them out, they found that they were written in Orcish, and unfortunately, our orc, half-orc, Marizan, does not have read-write Orcish, so she can't read it. So I think we'll have to wait till we get back to town and see what Gildor can do in the way of a spell to read the letters or the dispatches. So they've gathered up what useful equipment they can from the orcs that were here. That included some shields, some axes, scimitars, bows, and one metal helm. I think there was also banded ringmail, which one of these guys, I think Raffin, is going to end up keeping. What else? So they made it back to the village, Gold Edge. They'll spend that afternoon flogging off, or what's left of the afternoon, kind of flogging the items that they'd picked up. There was a total of a number of banded target shields, axes, all the rest. So they'll basically get a half price for those. And as I mentioned in the past, these aren't your typical, crude orcish weapons. They are actually, well manufactured weapons, and these orcs seem to be quite well equipped or outfitted. And from all that, which totaled 79 silver coins worth of equipment, they ended up getting half that in the way of value. So 39 silver coins and 5 copper coins, which I have added to their party treasure. They'll make some arrangements with the local blacksmith so that they can go in there for the next several days and do some repair on their armor and weapons. Actually, it'll be mainly Gildor doing the repairs. During that time, Raffin's going to continue with his training of armor, and we'll have to figure out what Marizan wants to do. She'll probably do a skill training of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what yet. You might just work on something like Fighting Dagger or Teamster, so she can actually drive a cart. So maybe I'll spend some time at the local horse trader and look to purchase some horses or another horse because she doesn't have a horse. And actually, the horse purchase will probably come closer to when they're actually ready to leave, so we don't have to stable a horse during that time. So, the other thing that happened the last time around was a bunch of experience and expertise gains. So I just quickly run through that. Gildor had used his Smokeless Flame in DL3 against an magic defense value 4 creature. That gave him 20 magic experience points and 8 expertise in the spell. Actually, he cast that twice. The longbow that he'd used against CDF 2 orcs and CDF 1, combat difficulty factor, that is, orcs. A total of 18 and 13 hit points of damage, which translates to a total of 49 combat experience points and 4 expertise with the bow. The Smokeless Flame and sorry, that should have been times 2, so that was 40 magic experience points. That would have given him 2 characteristics, which he put 1 against will and 1 against dex. He can't use those against strength or agility. His longbow, that 49 combat experience points, gave him 1 characteristic, so he applied that to strength. Raffen had used his bastard sword. He had done a total of 16 hit points damage, which translated to 32 combat experience points and 4 expertise in his bastard sword. He put 1 point towards dex, and he got 4 expertise in shield. Marizan had used her longbow, done 13 points of damage, 16 combat experience points against that CDF2 creature. Used her broadsword, she did 13 points of damage. And anyways, that totals out to 39 combat experience points. So her 1 characteristic she put against strength. She had also attacked the leader and had done 23 points of damage against him, and that's kind of a separate battle. So that she got 1 characteristic. Again, she put that towards dex. And 4 combat experience points. 46 combat experience points, 4 expertise, and 1 shield expertise. Even though her shield didn't get hit, she was using it, so she gets 1 expertise for that. And I gotta remember for myself, she has a banded heater shield, which gives her a defensive factor of +2, so she should be adding, or the opponents attacking her should be adding 2 to their roll. I keep forgetting about that, so just made a note of that here. So, Raffen, I guess there wasn't a banded armor here. Pick up. I thought there was. I have to go back and double check that. So Raffen buys another suit of banded ring for 10 silver coins, which gets rid of his broken set of armor. He kept it was the heater shield. So he kept the leader's banded heater shield, and he kept the leader's bastard sword. He's got an extra bastard sword now. The repairs on the armor. They've got 20 points of damage to repair on the banded ringmail. They've got the heater shield to repair 1 point, bastard sword to repair 5 points, and 2 points on a broadsword. When I tallied all the days and everything up here, it's going to take 4.25 days for the repairs and cost a total of, okay, that actually adds up to 186 copper coins. That's what that says. Which I've deducted all those costs. So I've deducted those costs and all the rest from their party treasure already. So they are left with 51 brass bits, 99 copper coins, and 152 silver coins, and 9 gold coins in their stash. All right, so I'm just gonna go through day by day here and see how it goes. Our little weather table. Oh, let's see. I guess the other thing is just to make life a little bit simpler for myself for the skill use. Depending on the situation, if they're out in the wilds doing something where a skill roll is fairly important, I'll probably give them the D10 expertise gain for that skill. When I'm doing something like armor repairs or something like that, I'll just call it a moderate difficulty. And just say that, per day that the work is being done, the worker's getting one expertise point in that skill. So particularly with the armor repairs that Gilder is doing. So to that end, let's see. So next day, they got back into town from the orcs on the evening of the 8th of June here. So on the 9th, we'll do our bit of weather. Not that it really matters, but I just want to make sure that the weather chart keeps getting updated. And I suppose if it's bad weather, who knows, something else might come of it. So I should probably keep track of the information here as well. We are on 9th. And I guess I should do my daily steps just because I always forget them anyways. So skill gains for the previous day. So they had gone through. They had headed out from Old Edge that day, headed up through the forested hills, and basically come back. So I'm going to be giving them 1 expertise point in both forest and in hill survival. I think I already did that, maybe not. So this is Gildor, and his are both max. So that's 2 more combat experience points. Raffin. Forest and hill, so 1 in each of those. Herzan. Hill, hers are maxed out. Get combat experience points for that. Food points. Again, they would have used half the food points. They are spending the evening in. Page. Two, 8, 5. Aren't with them, so I won't worry about that. And, right, so weather. Now I can do weather. Let me see here. All right. Rid of the extraneous dice. And, all right. So we are in June. And our 2d6 roll is 10. That moves it up into a clear sky with a light with a breeze. So that's the light breeze sky. Mana regen and energy level regain. Know that Gildor needs to get his mana back. He's getting 5 points back, his mana regen. He's down to 43. Let's just put a small little +5 in there. His energy level regain is somewhere at the front here. So it's level. I always forget what page that's on. Mana level, casting ability, mana regen. Oh, come on, where is it? Energy level. Right, it is his Constitution. Healing lost energy. Constitution, subtracting your mana level from the roll. Result is you do less than the Constitution. You gain a die 6 plus your Constitution bonus back. 2. Gilder's Constitution is 39. And his mana level is 12, so we're subtracting 12 from the roll. 93. Nope. Again, he's not getting any energy back today. All right. Natural healing or otherwise. Marzan. And Raffin. I guess I should have done some healing the day before. I'm going to retcon that, I think. And mind you, Gilder's got, yeah, I suppose. All right, he's going to have done he's going to do that healing mist that he did the other time. So I'm going to use his language on that. So healing mist is one of his Sid spells. I'm going to use his language, so he has to roll 80 or less. 42. He's casting it at heal 1. So 8. Healing mist. Heal 1. So that is base mana cost. Got my handy table. Oops. Handy table. Base mana costs 3. EL 1 is going to cost 5. With the language, it's only going to cost 4. And so EL. So base, he's now MEL 5. Magic experience level 5. He's rolling on the 5 line. He's subtracting his EL times subtracting his EL. So let's see if this works. 62. It's not a failure. He gets 1 partial or 1 expertise point. Please, 1. And try again. Language works. And 7 works that time. So he's cast. That's going to cost him a total of 8 mana. He is going to get EL1, so 3 times the magic experience points he gains is the base mana cost times the EL plus 2. EL1, so 3 times 3. So 9 magic experience points. And 2 times the base mana cost, so 6. So plus 6 more expertise. And after a number of rounds, they're healed up to max. So, and that's going to be 1 characteristic. 1 characteristic. So, add that stuff in. 9. 1 characteristic, which he will throw into. Let's put it in. Put it in will. And his expertise points. He will get 7 expertise points in Healing Mist. Plus 7. And that's that. So, all right, now we're back on June 9th. There's no healing to do. These guys are back to full. Pretty crazy spell. guess when you have the time for it, it's all right if you're not if not in the middle of combat. All right, and okay, so that's that. Any spell casting? I don't think his knowledge spell doesn't come up for a couple more days. All right. Okay. So plans for the day. This is going to be Gildor is doing repairs. Baffin is doing armor training. Armorer training. And Mirazan, he is, oh right, I was going to say Teamster. So she's going to pay the local stables to train her in Teamster. You'll basically, I don't know, maybe help them move supplies around, all that kind of stuff, and learn how to run the wagon. So, yeah. The next day, not sure I want to do any special events or anything like that. I think I just want to run through these days kind of quickly. So they'll be spending, like I said, 5 days at the in town here doing the repairs. So June 9th, or June 10th, do our weather update. Our 2d6. So 3, that is going to move us into a still sunny, but a little bit windier. Windy day. Clear and windy. And we're going to basically do the same thing here. So ditto. June 11th. June 11th. The last day. This day will go ditto plus horses, or horse for Marizan. And I'll particularly on the horse side of things, I'll kind of show you how I typically do that for kind of what horses are in stock and that sort of thing. So, right. So June 11th. Actually, I think I'll just do all the weather for all the days here, just so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth on this table. So on the 11th, we have 6, which moves us straight down. So this is a light clouds and windy. And then on June 12th, another 6, light clouds and breeze. And finally on the 13th, we have an 8, which is moving down to end up with a drizzle and windy. Okay, drizzle and windy. All right, that takes care of the weather. So, for those days, Gilder's going to get 5 expertise points in armor. And Raffin is going to get 10 expertise points for training. So one, normally just training alone, you get 1 expertise point per day. And then instructed training, you double that. So he's getting 2 expertise points per day in armor. So that's going to be adding 10 there. They are, I'm actually going to give them the 5 partial or 5 expertise points in city survival here too, as they spend their time in town. That'd be worth something, I guess. And Roseanne, city survival, she's already maxed. So actually I'm not going to give her anything for that. Working on Teamster, so she gets 10 expertise points, which is enough to train her in Teamster. So she has EL, starting EL in Teamster. I believe that's how that works. Starting EL in Teamster, which is going to be the better of her strength or wisdom. Or sorry, stamina or wisdom. Stamina, of course, 35. Starting out with a skill of 35. Cool. All right. So she can now essentially drive a wagon under duress. That takes care. So all their armor's repaired, other than Gilder's leather armor, which I haven't bothered with. So armor's all repaired, weapons are all repaired. One of the rules in Powers and Perils is that when you're repairing weapons, you can not repair them to the full fatigue value. It's always 2 less than the full fatigue value. You know what? With the number of times that we can swap weapons out from, your foe's weapons and all the rest, I figured they're just repairing them up to max and not going to bother with trying to remember the 2 less rule. So again, little house rule of mine. Whatever works for you. I'm not a rules lawyer or anything like that by any means. So, anyways, all right, the horses. So, I'm a particular fan of the creature variation table, and this is of course Powers and Perils, the version 2 PDF that you can get off the Powers and Perils .org website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that there's die 6. I want to have at least 2 or 3 horses, so I'm going to say a die 6, but I don't want necessarily 6 horses. So we'll see what I roll. 4 horses is good. That's a good number. Right, so we have the 4 horses. Number 1, 2, number 3, and number 4. So if I flip back to the book here, horses are near the front around animals. They're equines. All right, so there's the 4 types of riding horses. Riding horse 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slightly better as you go up in numbers. So for example, the riding horse 1 has 14 hit points, OCV 3 and DCV 5, versus the riding horse 4 that has 20 hit points and OCV 6 and 9 respectively. Yeah, so the 4 horses that we've got, they're going to be at least riding horse 1s. And we look at, back to book 1 here. Under equipment, horses. Riding Horse 1, 100%. Riding Horse 2 is 49. Riding Horse 3, 70%. I'm going to assume that in this little town here, they have a chance of having Riding Horse 2s, but probably not 3s or 4s. So the Riding Horse 2, I'm going to half that chance, so 45% from the 90. So first guy, 44, so that's going to be a Riding Horse 2. Next one is going to be a Riding Horse 1. Next one is a Riding Horse 2, another 40. Or another 44, I mean. And last one is going to be, oh, Riding Horse 2. Well, this kingdom is known for having several herds of wild horses that are both in the kind of the northeastern quadrant as well as the southwestern quadrant, I guess. Or kind of more central. And so these guys are worth, the Riding Horse 1s are 3 gold coins. The Riding Horse 2s are 6 gold coins. 6 gold coins. All right. So back to our creature variation table. Where are you? There we go. So it's a percentile roll. Oh, sorry. Actually, no. I'll get back to that in a sec here. So it is a percentile roll. So this first one is a 56, which on the table here is going to be a 1 times on the plus modifier and a 1 times on the minus modifier. So that's the plus and the minus, so 1 times and 1 times. This next one, the Riding Horse 1, is going to be a 42, which is the same thing. 1 times, 1 times. Next one, 85. That's going to be a 1.4 times and a 0.9 times. 0.9 times. And last but not least, 44. That's another 1 times. Right. So, I think as I mentioned before, these multipliers apply to so the plus side applies to hit points, natural weapon index, DTV, strength, stamina, constitution, natural armor value, magic defense value, combat difficulty factor, contact level, doesn't apply to horses, energy level, and their healing chance. And then on the minus side, the modifier applies to the dex and agility. So I think we're going to be interested in this one here, likely. Let me get rid of the PDF. All right, and where I have creatures that I tend to use a lot of modifiers on or often, and I want to modify them, I've done up a little spreadsheet that does the calculations for me. With the Riding Horse 2, with the 1.4, 1.9 times, I'm going to have a hit points of 21 instead of 15. I have an OCV of 7 instead of 4. The DCV goes down by 1. The strength and stamina are higher by, from 16 to 23, for example, in the strength. So I'll add this into Marizan's character sheet afterwards. And that's going to cost us 6 gold coins. Let's find our little tally sheet here. We will knock off gold coins, and at the same time, we will pick up the equipment the other pieces of equipment that are needed for the horse. We look at the builder sheet here. There's a bridle, saddle, that comes out to 3.3 silver coins, or 3 silver coins, 3 copper coins. And like I said, I'll add that into Marizan's character sheet for the next time around. So that is it for today. Like I said, a shorter video, just doing a little bit of downtime stuff, trying to expedite things on the downtime a bit. And then next time around, we'll see what kind of trouble our 3 illustrious adventurers here can get into. Until next time, hopefully this was somewhat informative, and we will see you hopefully in a few days. So take care, everybody.